Confession by Julia Bartz. I sometimes like thrillers. This one truly was a thriller. It was weird, but it was a thriller. There were a lot of twists, but it was good. So, when a catatonic woman appears in a psychiatric ward in New York City, a social worker's quest to uncover the truth plunges her into a labyrinth of cults, past traumas of her own, and unsettling revelations. The last session by Julia Bartz for foray into psychological thrillers following her acclaimed debut, The Writing Retreat. Oh, I'm going to have to go get that one then because, I would read it. This novel delves into the psyche of Thea, a social worker whose encounter with a mysterious patient propels her into a shadowy world of spiritual retreats and buried memories. Bartz crafts a narrative that intertwines suspense, and it was very suspenseful, with explorations of identity, trauma, and the human desire for connections. Now, y'all, it was good. It was good. There was a lot of spiritual stuff in there, and the fact that they were portraying that you have a spiritual sibling somewhere else in the world. Thea happened to run into hers in this novel. It was good. I definitely would say it was good. I did have a hard time connecting New York City with, I still don't know how this character got I don't know how she got from New Mexico to New York City, but anyway, she did. So Bartz delivers a narrative that is both gripping and discerning. Thea's journey from a structured psychiatric unit to a remote New Mexico retreat is fraught with tension and unexpected turns. The novel's strength lies in its atmospheric settings and the psychological depths of its protagonists. Bartz aptly portrays Thea's internal struggles, making her descent into the retreat's enigmatic world both believable and haunting. However, the novel's ambitious scope occasionally leads to convoluted plot developments. Some readers might find the blending of themes such as cult dynamics, reincarnation, and personal trauma a bit overwhelming. I think it was a lot. It was a lot going on. Despite this, Bart's prose remains engaging, and her ability to evoke a sense of unease is commendable. Moon and I can't remember her husband's name, if that really was her husband. They are her husband's name, or the cult leaders, are Sun and Moon. Sun's the guy, Moon is the woman. And the character that was supposed to be her twin sister from another mother, Catherine, who happens to be a child star. So you do have this reincarnation thing going on. Personal trauma. Thea had some issues when she was growing up. She grew up Catholic, and she had things going on with her in that dynamic of her life, or that time of her life. There were a lot of cult dynamics. From the time they reached New Mexico, it was just one thing after another that was cult-like. I mean, it was a lot of setups, so to speak, in the story. I will say that the social worker, who is Thea, is a dedicated social worker in New York, like I mentioned earlier, and she becomes intrigued by Catherine, who happens to look almost like her. This patient was once a child actress in a film that deeply impacted Thea's youth. She disappears under mysterious circumstances, driven by a mix of professional duty and professional and personal obsession. Thea traces her to a secluded retreat in New Mexico, where they have this cult-like retreat. It was actually a retreat, a therapeutic retreat to help you find your soulmate. I think that one of the advertisements mentioned that if you would definitely find your soulmate within 3 weeks of this cult. The 3 weeks of the retreat. The retreat was $4,000, which Thea did not have, but she forked it over anyway, just so she could just go follow Catherine to make sure she was okay, basically. I will say, at the end, Catherine dies, Moon dies, Sun dies, Thea still lives. But she does close some of her past childhood traumas. She closes those with her family. So, it ended up well in that aspect. I would give this book a 4.7 out of 5, if you can do that. I don't know. I think it was because it was a thriller, and there were a couple of sex scenes in there that I felt like might have not necessarily been necessary for this type of book. So, I know you can have thriller and sex involved in it, but I just feel like that sex scene was not necessarily needed in order to keep the plot moving forward. There were a lot of caves involved, a lot of self-sacrifice. Well, one self-sacrifice that I know of that was in the book. And so I felt like, it was pretty good. Like I said, 4.7 out of 5. Would I purchase this book? Probably not. I will say, and I'm going to try my best to start adding these in, the pages were 368 pages. If you were to read it in hardback, and for audio, it was 13 hours. So, yeah. But it was an easy listen. You will definitely stay intrigued. It was very entertaining, and you probably enjoy it. So, yeah.